live? Are we live? Oh my goodness, you guys. I got some stuff to talk about today. Do you know what the definition of insanity is? Freaking me. I'm the definition of insanity. Jeremy just got home. Now I have to go somewhere private to have this conversation because I'll be embarrassed. Let's go back to my closet, shall we? Let's go to my closet. It looks like we're live. Have you guys heard the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result? Have you heard this before? So have you ever woke up? I was thinking, get inside. Sorry, guys. I thought I had more time alone. I got to do this one alone. I woke up this morning and Rochelle, sorry, says, yes, I couldn't read while I was walking. It's going to be dark for just a second. I woke up this morning and you guys, the exact thing that usually gets me out of bed is the exact thing that kept me in bed today. You know what that was? My children. Have you ever had a moment where you're like, I don't have it in me. I can't do it today. I don't want to. I'm not going to. All right, let me shut my closet door and we're going to have this conversation. Okay, so sorry about that. I really thought I was settled and I would have privacy. Insanity, according to Einstein. Now, I don't know if this is legitimately according to Einstein. I've heard this. But insanity, the definition is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So I don't know why that quote went through my head this morning, but I was laying in bed. It was like 7:00 in the morning, and normally Christian wakes up. He wants to watch a show for a little while. Dylan's already been it's all chill. I literally couldn't get out of bed. I'm like, I can't. And this quote went through my head about insanity. And I started thinking like, man, what are we doing right now that's not working? What should we really be doing? And so I've got some tips for you guys. So if you're like me at all, sometimes you don't want to do anything different, but by not doing anything different where you're at really stinks. Like, am I alone in this? I'm being pretty vague right now. I get it. Mainly, I will say it has a lot to do with Dylan and the challenges and the struggles that we have with him. I need some light on in here. And I really don't want to have to do anything different. I don't want to have to like stay on a 100% schedule. I don't want to have to like constantly keep my eyes on him. I want to be able to sleep in and I want to be able to like garden if I wanted to garden, or Jeremy's trying to garden right now. That's why that one's on. I want to just do what I want to be able to do. But by doing what we keep doing, like it's not working. But I'm so resistant to change. Hey, Kathy. So I'm going to give you guys some tips. I don't know where it is that you might be stuck, but just take a second and say, like, what area in my life am I not happy with? And am I doing anything about it? If you are, then just like find the piece that you're doing something. So whenever Dylan's really challenging, but I know that we're doing things consistently, it's a whole lot easier to like breathe through those times. But when we're both getting like super comfortable in our schedules and like this life we have now and not wanting to do anything different, and then we look at the results of not doing anything different, it's like a no-brainer. So ask yourself, like, what area is it? Maybe it's health, maybe it's your kids, maybe it's your work, maybe it's your relationship. But so often people are just like I was this morning, like, I really don't want to do anything different. I want to lay here. I don't want to get up, but I know if I do that, it's going to come at a cost. And that's what I talked to Jeremy about yesterday. He was like, I really want to be able to do whatever out in the garden. And it's so frustrating. He's like, what happens to you when you get an idea in your mind? Because I just got done working and I think I was out laying on the driveway talking to him about work or something. And he's like, isn't it hard for you when you are working and you have an idea and you just constantly want to keep working on that? And I was like, yeah, but you were like that yesterday, girl, I'm telling you what. But I'm like, but it comes at a cost. Like if we don't choose to do things sometimes the way we don't want to do them, and if we don't choose to do them a little differently, we already know what comes from that. So I'm like, I have to learn to turn it off and give time to these kids is my big example right now. And I don't always want to. I want time for me. Like, let me have a bath alone. But I'm learning that I have to like do things a little differently. I have to communicate in ways I'm not comfortable communicating, in a way that says, hey, I need 30 minutes by myself, and don't let them come in the room, because my personality is just to let, everybody, like, I'm always problem solving and I'm always trying to make everybody else happy, and it comes at a cost. Okay. So, back to the insanity thing. Are you continuing to do the same thing over and over and over and being frustrated that nothing's changing? Is that anybody? And if so, like, what area of your life is it in? So if it's health, if it's work, if it's relationship, get out of your norm. Here's my first tip: get out of your norm. So let's say that it is like just simple daily life. You're bored, maybe you're even like mildly like the D word, diagnosed or not, but is it not like I don't want to say the D word. I think Facebook will screen out my live. They're really picky on certain words. But legitimately, like with the circumstances right now, it's really easy to be like, oh, I'm sad and I'm, feeling like all these things, but I don't want to do anything different. So challenge yourself to maybe get out of the norm and try a new hobby. Like, is anybody using this time right now to, I want to learn how to knit. I took a knitting class and I'm like halfway all about it. So maybe if you're finding yourself kind of stuck just in like no will to do anything, no drive to do anything, a hobby is a great way to get started. Just painting, start looking up some hobbies. Think about something that you always wanted to do as a child. I remember in college, I took a piano class because I always wished that I would have been taught how to play an instrument or play music. So instead of being like, well, that's a bummer, I don't know how to do that, I decided to take a college course on piano. Now, I am not like Mozart. Did Mozart play the piano? Beethoven? I played Ode to Joy to get out of my piano class. That's the class I had to go up on the stage at Illinois College and play da na 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 whatever. And then I passed my class, but I did it. It was a little fun thing. So then I realized I don't really want to be a pianist or whatever. Learn something new. This is one of my favorite things. Okay. So I'm talking about being stuck in the whole parenting thing, and I'm going to wrap around to that idea. But let's say I remember, gosh, probably 2 years ago, I really started getting interested in nutrition a lot. And I'm like, maybe I want to get a nutrition degree. And so if you're finding yourself stuck, take some time to start just learning some new things. So even if it's 20 minutes a day, if it's an hour on the weekends, I love podcasts. So maybe you can spend some time just listen. I listened to tons of like nutrition podcasts. I was obsessed with it. Maybe it's finances. I went through a big finance, whatever interest where I was like iHeartRadio with Dave Ramsey all day long. And it worked. I mean, over time of continuing to put this stuff in my mind when I was stuck financially. So the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. If it's finances, how many of y'all are ticked off and frustrated that you don't have savings? Maybe you don't have retirement. Maybe you don't even have enough money to buy your groceries right now, but you still keep doing the same thing over and over. And you haven't chosen to learn new behaviors, and you're not like motivated to do that. So I love to just start learning and putting that information in front of me. And over time of continuing to do that, like it rubbed off. It rubbed off where I was like, oh, maybe I'll tackle that little thing. Okay. What else? What else might you want to learn about? Cooking. Oh, this is a great one. So if you find that you're frustrated, maybe it's a health goal that you have, and you're like, oh, I'm so frustrated that I don't have extra energy, and I know I'm not putting good things into my body, but you don't want to do anything different. That's the definition of insanity once again. So start learning something new about cooking. Just watch some cooking shows for 20 minutes a day. Come join our clean eating group. Be surrounded by that stuff that you want to be different in your life. And even if you're not ready to like take those next steps, start learning about it. Okay. Podcast. One of the things I love is we do a book club every Saturday morning. I don't I do want my life to be different, but sometimes I don't want to have to do all the work to have it be different. So I love our Saturday morning book club calls. Crystal said she loves to cook. Girl, I don't. Okay, another thing that you could do if you feel like you're stuck, if you feel like me and you're like, I just don't want to get out of bed. This is my favorite one. It's probably honestly the reason why I'm back to that, like stuck with everything going the wrong way, but I know exactly what to do. Get organized and create a schedule. Oh God, I hate schedules. Like I hate them a whole lot. I am not type A, even if people think I am a procrastinator. I have sticky notes and I have paper notes and I like, but the schedule thing, we started it with the kids because by not doing our schedule, I think this is like we've gotten more relaxed in not having a schedule, and I can operate under it. But y'all, if you think about what a schedule does for you, for your children, for the people around you, it actually is really like a way to create a lot of safety and predictability, especially for children. This is so important, but also for you too. Like, let's say you chose, let's talk about relationships. Let's say you're not happy in your relationship and you're like, man, I really wish that we like spent more time together, but life is busy. And then you end up like taking care of the kids, and then you end up watching a show, which by the way, I have a new show that is really funny that I have to share with you. It's a mom show. So you might have to schedule some stuff, because what scheduling does, like when Jeremy was like asking me about, how do you make your brain turn off? I'm like, part of it is I know at 2:00 I know at 1:30 every day I do nap time chat. I know from 2:00 to 3:00 every day, my business, all the people on our team do a power hour where we like work on our computer and do our own thing, but we're accountable to that. I'm like, I know there's set aside time for that, so I can kind of like breathe easier in the time outside of that. Same thing with date night, like schedule that time so that you don't have to be like feeling bad that the day went crazy and you didn't spend that dedicated time with your significant other. That creates safety and security in your relationship, predictability. So with kids, it's super, super, super important, because nobody wants to be like sideswiped about, oh, if I do this, will they react this way or will they not? And that's why it's hard for me. I think when I was waking up this morning, I'm like, I know I have to get back on a schedule with this child. Christian rolls. Dylan does not roll. Dylan needs that super, super structure. Evan does too. Man, it's hard to work in the gray, because if you don't internally have like this super moral compass or some part of something that just automatically tells you what's right and wrong, like born in you, sometimes somebody needs to be told, like, no, you do this, this is what will happen. And if they like, I think I'm always, well, anyway, okay. So I hope that helps. The last tip I have is clean your house just a little bit, because I think that we can really easily. So we're talking about how we want to have things change, but we want to have something different, but we don't want to do anything different. Therefore, we're insane, right? So sometimes I find that if I look around my house and it's just absolute chaos, like my closet is right now, it's really hard for me to function and I can easily shut down. So what we chose to do this week, because I saw the same thing happening over and over, like more toys were coming into the house. Yes, probably my fault. Like if a friend says, I've got 18 costumes, I'm like, I'll take them. I'll take that toy. I'll take that. I'll take that. If anybody's going to give us something, I'll be like, yes, yes, yes. The kids need that. And at the same time, I'm bagging up all the stuff that we have excess of, right? So, I need to quit saying the word I've realized. Anyhow, we went through, I looked at what was happening and I'm like, this house is chaos. Like literally. Okay, Dylan is crazy. I blame Dylan. God gave me him for a reason. I've got to learn how to do the things that I don't want to do. I don't want to have to like only have 5 toys in a room, but that's what I had to do this week. I had to clean everything up. I had to minimize the room down to 5 things. I had to make the space where like I had to clean off countertops, not for Dylan, but for my own sanity. Clean up the spaces just 15 minutes a day. I'm not talking about with your Lysol wipes that you shouldn't even have anyway. Just clean up the little spaces so that you can feel a little bit more productive and a little bit more purposeful, because the area around you is not in disorder. So that you don't feel out of control. Thank you. That's what my note said. Anyhow, so today was kind of like a day where it was more my like therapy session, because I'm not getting those right now. And I had a friend actually ask, she's like, can you like put a group together so that all the moms can I was like, no, I'm not a paid therapist. I can't do that for you. I cannot. I can go on and I can vent and I can give you some tips that are helpful and I can just relate with you and I can just tell you we're all in this together. So anyhow, my new favorite show before I hang up is over on Netflix, and it is hilarious. And if you woke up feeling like I did this morning, I want to look at, it's called Working Moms. Is that what it's called? It's just normal, I think, sometimes to feel a little bit insane. And I think it's normal to feel shut down by that feeling of overwhelm. But then just please like stop and remind yourself, if you don't find a way to do something different, you're going to just keep getting what you're getting. So whether that's like the job that you have, whether it's the health goals or the lifestyle that you're living right now, or your relationships, or your children. Okay, I was going to try to find you guys my show real quick that I'm watching because I'm loving it. It's called Working Moms, and it's funny. Hashtag mom life. All right, you guys, it's Friday. I'll see you tomorrow for Self-Care Saturday. Rochelle says, if we do not have a schedule, we're all struggling at home. Girl, I know that's why we're struggling right now, because the weather is nice and I wanted to play water balloons, and it was supposed to be school time on the calendar and I wanted to play water balloons. And so we played water balloons and we had fun-ish. It was all right until Dylan lost his mind, because even if it would have been like water balloon time on the schedule, he still might have lost his mind. But anyway, all right, I will see you guys tomorrow for Self-Care Saturday at 1:30 tomorrow Central for nap time chat. Until then, get outside. If you're in this area, it is gorgeous weather, so I'm going to go do my power hour, work on my computer out in the sunshine, because that's something that you can do to help yourself not be so cray. All right, bye for now.